Hi, this is Miss McCauley, and I'm here to help you with the multiplying fraction investigation. If you follow this video, you should have no trouble completing the models yourself. But please listen and pay close attention to how to do this investigation. What you're trying to find out when you do this is you're trying to see what happens when you multiply two fractions together. What kind of an answer do you get? Okay? So you're going to load this same document into your GoodNotes, and you're going to create the models the same way that I'm going to do an example. Okay, the first thing says that we are going to, we used decimal models when we multiplied decimals. This is going to be very similar, except it's with fractions. Okay, and the first problem that I'm going to do as an example for you is this problem right here, 1/3 times 1/2, using a model. Okay, so you have a same page in your GoodNotes, go same page, and you follow along with me as we do the example. Okay, now what I want you to remember is you're going to use two highlighters in your GoodNotes when you complete these models. You're always going to color the first fraction blue, okay? So we're going to say here, this is blue. The second fraction will always be yellow. And then you'll see what happens. Okay, it works better on your GoodNotes than it does in my video, but just trust me. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to model this 1/3 times 1/2. We know that the first fraction has to be blue. And what you want to do is figure out how much of the cake is 1/3. We're going to pretend this whole thing is a cake here. And if you were doing that, you would want to see how many slices would you be able to cut to make 3 even slices. If you wanted to do that, you can see that I've already labeled it for you. 1, 2, 3 going this way. So you would cut it this way to make thirds. You can see that 1, 2 is up here, so you'd cut it this way to make 2 slices. Another way to think about it is if your denominator is 3, look for where I have 3 spaces marked, and that's the direction you would color. So we're going to switch to the blue highlighter, and we will color in 1/3 of the cake. Then we will switch to yellow. Let me get to the right shade of yellow here. Okay, hopefully that'll work. And we will go 1/2, okay, which makes this. Now, in GoodNotes, when you color the yellow over the blue, you would get green here. I'm going to do it for you just so you can see what that would have looked like. This would have turned green in your GoodNotes. So you would have 1 square is green. So hopefully you can see that I have colored 1/3 of the cake blue, 1/2 of it yellow. But what I want to find is what is 1/3 of 1/2. The times sign also means of. Okay, I'm asking you to find what is 1/3 of half of a cake. How much is that? Okay, now here's where the tricky part comes in, is getting the answer. Okay, our answer is going to be a fraction. The numerator is going to be the number. Okay, let me change this my pen size just a little bit. Okay, the number of green squares is my numerator, and the denominator is total squares. So let's look at this and try to write this down. Okay, so let's write our new fraction. The number of green squares that we have is 1, right? So that is our numerator. And our denominator is the total number of squares in the entire cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could also call it the area. It's the area of the rectangle, which is length times width. Okay, it's the total. So our answer to the question of 1/3 times 1/2 is 1/6. Now some of you might be saying, well, this is super easy. I already knew how to do this multiplication. What I want you to remember is I don't want you to actually try to multiply these fractions. I really want you to do the models, because it will show you that what you have found here is that when you times a fraction, you get a smaller piece, right? It's a part of a part. So I'm going to write that here. Multiplying fractions gives you a part of a part, which is smaller. I've already created everything for you, so you don't have to draw the boxes. And you have 3 problems on this page, and the 3 problems say 1/4 times 1/2. So remember, I've written the rules here for you. Color your first number blue, so that would be your 1/4. Color your second number yellow, which is your 1/2. Count the total green squares, that is your numerator. Count the total squares in the box, and that is your denominator. You will do that for number 1, number 2, number 3, and then if you... Please remember that I have also labeled the sides of the cakes with the numbers that correspond to the denominators. So when it says 1/4, you see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 going this way. So you would color 1/4 going horizontally. 1/2, you see a 1, 2 right here, so you would color the 1/2 going vertically. Okay, I'm going to do one example for you on page 2 just to help you out, because, or page 3. These get a little bit more confusing. I have labeled the boxes again, but let's go ahead and do one together. This is 3/4 of 2/3. So let's figure that out. So the first number should be blue. So let me switch over to my blue highlighter. And hopefully it'll work for me. Okay, now it says 3/4, not 1/4. So if you notice that's a 3 up there. So we're still going to look for where we have 4 slices cut, and that would be going this way. We need to do 3 out of 4 of them blue. So we're going to take our pen. You should be doing this one with me. That's 3/4. Okay, now our second number needs to be yellow. So let me switch back over to yellow highlighter. Okay, and we need 2/2. So our thirds go this way, so that means we'll be going 1/2 with our yellow highlighter this way. Now remember, my video doesn't do as cool as GoodNotes, so I've got to make the green myself. On yours, it will do it for you, but I'll do that. So all of this would have been green. Okay, then let's go ahead and write our final answer. Okay, so our numerator should be the number of squares that are colored green. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares colored green. And then our denominator is the total number of squares in the box, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Our final answer would be 6/12. Some of you might be saying, hey, shouldn't we simplify that? And of course, that is a great answer. But in these models, you do not have to simplify. We are just trying to see that you know how to do the models. Okay, you should be able to finish the rest on your own. Good luck. Bye for now.